Here's why I eventually might like football more than football. All right, so I grew up in the States, a massive fan of NFL football. Dallas Cowboys fan. I'm from Texas. I found an old book when I was in like second grade in the school library of the top 10 NFL quarterbacks of the 1970s. And I was reading these little biographies of quarterbacks in the 1970s. And in there was a piece about Roger Staubach, Roger Dodger, year after year after year in my entire life. I'm a massive fan of the NFL. And yet, as I was watching my last NFL game, the Dallas Cowboys versus the New York Giants, I found myself increasingly frustrated. And it's because I've been watching soccer, I've been watching football a little bit more since I've started this channel. And I've been playing FIFA a little bit more. And I've been watching a little bit of the Premier League. I've watched 2 Premier League games, and now after today watching USA versus England, I've watched a full World Cup match and several others I've caught bits and pieces of. I'm starting to see impressive football highlights show up in my feed on both YouTube and Facebook, and I'm having, a lot of trouble not clicking on some of those videos because I think I might need to react to them later for my channel, but I'm finding myself really becoming a fan of football. And one thing that I noticed as I was watching the Cowboys versus the Giants is that I became increasingly frustrated with the amount of times that the play gets stopped. Okay? I love the sport. I played the sport. Not at a really high level, but I was good at the sport and I loved it. And I still do love it. But at one point during the game, we had a penalty which stops the clock and sets us back, and they have to talk about it, and then the coach gets to yell at the ref for a little bit, and then we run the next play, and there's another penalty pre-snap. So now we've got to back it up again. We still haven't got a play run. The clock gets stopped again. And then they finally snap the ball, run the play. A player from the opposing team gets injured, so they have to stop the clock so that everyone can come, and I'm not mocking injuries. They happen in a very brutal sport, but they have to stop the clock, rush the medics on the field, tend to the injury. We go to commercial break. We come back from commercial break. Okay, they're ready to play again, and they start the play, and guess what? It's another penalty. Penalty stops the clock, backs us up. We run the next play, and there's another injury. And so in the span of I think about 6 or 7 minutes from a very sloppy game, which is not normal in NFL football, but for the span of, I think, 15 minutes, we might have run 3 plays total. And it just makes for a sloppy viewing experience, and it was frustrating me to no end. My wife is sitting over here watching me watch the Cowboys game, and for the first time, I'm really upset with the whole game itself. As I've watched the Premier League and as I've watched these World Cup matches, the bits that I've got to see, I love how we go 45 minutes and there's not a commercial break. We go 45 minutes plus stoppage time, and then you have halftime, commercials, everything, and then the game is back and it's moving again. Now, one of the things I love about the NFL is it's brutal, it's violent. You've got hard hits, you've got aggression and violence, and you've got all of that on display. And some amazing athletic plays on display in the NFL. Some of the most amazing athletes in the world doing wild things, catching the ball and contorting their bodies in all kinds of positions and running very fast. And just a lot of really cool action that happens in the NFL. But the purity of football and how the ball gets passed between players and how the ball it's so fluid. It's like it moves up and down the pitch. And the game itself has been fascinating to watch. And so, as I said, I've been born and bred into the Dallas Cowboys. I've been born and bred into this NFL football. I played it in high school. I coach it now in high school. And I love our sport. But I've got to tell you, there might come a day in the near future when it becomes my second favorite sport. Right now, it's still, my favorite sport. I'm so invested in the Cowboys season this year. We're 8-3, and we're gonna have a good year. Hopefully, I say that every year. I'm so invested into this season, into the NFL. I still love it with everything. And basketball has always been my second favorite sport. Mavericks are pretty good. Luka Doncic is amazing. I love basketball. But man, words that I thought I would never say. I think soccer might be my favorite sport, or at least it's fighting. It's past basketball already. I'm already more invested in this than I ever have been in the NBA. So, basketball, great sport, not as great as football, and football might take over football as my first place sport. Most enjoyable sport to watch. Hey, if you stuck through this little rant and you listened to what I had to say about this sport, and you would like to watch me react to the sport, the very first moments I ever watched this sport at any level, I've got plenty of videos that you can check out, some playlists here on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the channel. There's channel memberships you can join in there. Maybe if you want to help the channel out financially, monetarily, I would appreciate it. It helped me keep doing this more full time. I'm getting to a point where I could legitimately drop one of my part-time jobs in order to pursue YouTube. So if you guys would like to support me that way, I would definitely appreciate it. Thank you for all you've done for the channel. Thank you for almost 1 million views on this channel. Very grateful for the 4,000 subscribers. Please subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. If you want to join the channel, that might cost you a little bit, but there's some awesome channel perks like getting your reaction request bumped to the front of the line. And you guys can help me out figure out some new perks that maybe might want to get some other people on board. But anyway, if you like what you saw in this video, you like what you've been seeing on the channel, and you want to continue following my journey into learning a new sport, that's the whole point of Luke's Sports Academy, is you guys are teaching me about the sport that you love. Hey, I'd love to have you aboard the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.